Today we're looking at solving equations with the distributive property. The essential question is, how do I solve equations? Your learning intention: I'm learning to solve problems using the distributive property. You have 4 two-step equations. Can you solve those equations on your own? Do you remember how? Pause the video and see if you can do that. Well, I hope you tried to do them on your own and you're only checking your answers. 10 times x minus 76 is equal to 754. The last thing I did was to subtract 76. To undo that, I will add 76 to both sides. $10x is equal to 4 plus 6 is 0, carry a 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 7 is 13, carry a 1 again. 7 plus 1 is 8. 10x is equal to 830. Divide by 10. And x is equal to 83. So if I want to check, I'm actually going to use a calculator. 10 times 83 minus 76, and I get 754, so I know that it is the correct answer. For the next one, 73 plus 15 times x. Oh, the 73 is in the beginning, but it still needs to be eliminated first. I need to get that 15x by itself. The opposite of a positive 73 is a negative 73. I'm going to subtract 73 from both sides. 15x is equal to 3 minus 3 is 0. 4 minus 7 I can't do, so I've got to borrow 1 from the 3. 14 minus 7 is 7. And I've borrowed 1 from the 3, so this is 2. So 15x is equal to 270. I'm going to divide both sides by 15. And x is equal to. Okay, normally we would do this by hand, but to save a little bit of time, we're going to start using our calculator more. So 270 divided by 15 gives me 18. X is equal to 18. If I want to check my answer, I substitute 18 back into for x. 73 plus 15 times 18, I get 343, which is the correct answer. For the next two, we're using smaller numbers. I've taken m, I've divided by 9, I've subtracted 1. What was the last thing I did? Subtract 1. What do I need to do first? Add 1 to both sides. M divided by 9 is equal to negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. I've divided by 9. How do I undo that? Multiply by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. I've eliminated it there. M is equal to negative 9. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. Negative 9 divided by 9 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus negative 1 is negative 2. Okay, how about the next one? 8 plus b divided by negative 4 is equal to 5. I've got to get rid of the b, so I have my term with the variable in it by itself. B is positive. The opposite is negative. 8 minus 8 is 0. That leaves me with B divided by negative 4 is equal to 5 minus 8 is negative 3. I've divided. To undo division, we will multiply. We multiply by that negative 4 that's underneath. That's in our denominator. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. I'm left with 1b. B is equal to, negative times negative is a positive. 3 times 4 is 12. Once again, 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. 8 plus negative 3 does give me 5. So those are your two-step equations. When we go into the distributive property, it is a multi-step equation. So the first ones we're looking at, we just have the parentheses on one side. Remember how we distribute whatever's on the outside? We use it to multiply everything that's on the inside. So I've got negative 3 times positive 4. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Don't forget the b, because it is 4 times b. So it's negative 12 times b. Negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. And that is equal to negative 51. I'm going to pause there. I want you to think about what we're doing. How does that affect you? How does those parentheses affect? Okay, next. Just like we did before with the two-step equations, negative 12 times b minus 3 equals negative 51. The last thing I did was to subtract 3. So I need to add 3 to undo that. Negative 12 is equal to, negative 12b is equal to, negative 51 plus 3 is negative 48. Now I'm going to divide by negative 12 on both sides. B is equal to 4. So this would be 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 17 times negative 3 is negative 51, and I have done it correctly. Okay, I want you to pause the video. We've been working with the distributive property before. Can you do that first step? Can you distribute the negative 8 to both of your terms? Negative 8 multiplied by 3 and then multiplied by negative 6x. Negative 120 is equal to negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Negative 8 times negative 6x, negative times negative is a positive. 8 times 6 is 48, and that will be x. I'm going to pause there and let you check your work and make sure you did it okay. Now, to solve, it's two-step equation now. First step, I've got a negative 24. The opposite is a positive 24. Okay, so these are opposite signs. I have to subtract. 120 minus 24 will give me 96, and it will be a negative 96. is equal to 48x. Divide both sides by 48. And negative 2 is equal to x. Okay, now I probably ought to make sure that I check my answer. 8 times parentheses 3 minus 6 times negative 2, and I get negative 120. I should have had a negative 8, and then it would have been negative 120. Okay, any questions? If you're struggling, back up the video and try to do it again. Okay, so as I'm looking at this, we've got 4 more. We start out with what we've been doing. I want you to try to do this one on your own all the way through. Once you do this one on your own all the way through, we'll check our answer. Pause the video and do it now. Well, I hope you tried. I'm going to multiply by negative 2. So negative 2 times positive 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 11 is positive 22. Negative times negative is that positive. 2 times 11 is 22. That's equal to 7. It is now a two-step equation. Step 1. I've added 22. I'll now subtract 22. Negative 4x is equal to 22 minus 7 would be 16. No, not 16. They're opposite signs, so I have to subtract. Okay, 12 minus 7 would be 5, so this is going to be 15. And it will be a negative 15. So, last step is to divide by negative 4. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and x is equal to 15/4. I cannot simplify that, so it will be left as 15/4. Okay, now what happens if we've got other things besides the distributive property there? Well, we do the distributive property first because of order of operations. Then we combine our like terms. So this is where the multi-step equations come in. I'm going to multiply everything by 2. I have 2 times 3x is 6x, plus 2 times 7 is 14, plus x is equal to 70. Now, we will combine our like terms. Well, I do hope you tried. So I'm going to multiply by negative 7. Hopefully you're just checking your answers. Negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 4x is positive 28x. Negative times negative is a positive. And this is equal to 217. It is now a two-step equation. I need to get the 28x by itself, so I will add 7 to both sides. 28x is equal to 200, this will be 24. Because I've got 14, that makes this become a 2 instead of a 1. Now, I am ready to use my calculator because I've got to divide both sides by 28. And I end up with 8. So x is equal to 8. Okay, hopefully you got the answer correct. If you did not try the next one, please do it now. Pause the video and go ahead and try it. I really hope you're just checking your answers. So, negative 6 times negative 5x is 30x, or n, 30n. Because negative times negative is that positive. Negative 6 times positive 3 is negative 18. Plus 2 equals negative 166. It's time to combine those like terms. (30n). Negative 18 plus 2 is negative 16, is equal to negative 166. Two-step equation. 30n minus 16, so I add 16 to both sides. These are opposite signs, so I will find their difference. 30n is equal to negative 150. Divide by 30 on both sides. N is equal to, we know it's a negative, the zeros will cancel out. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And we are done. Hopefully after today you'll feel a little bit more comfortable with the distributive property. I know I am successful when I can solve any equation. So we're solving equations. Specifically with distribution.